So the placenta, um, this is where maternal and fetal blood vessels intervene and are intertwined and exchange materials. Fascinating to me. The two bloods never mix. Um, the placenta supplying nutrients to the fetus and then removing waste from the fetus. So, just an amazing setup here as to how antibodies are transported to baby to stop the production of some lymphocytes, and therefore the mom's body does not reject the baby. So some anti-rejection pieces coming in here, and then we have hormones produced by the placenta, human growth, or excuse me, human chondrotic gonadotropin, HCG. This prevents the rejection of the fetus, and then progesterone that stops the relaxing of the uterine muscle. So, as a way to ensure that mom successfully holds that baby for the at least 36 weeks. Just a really fascinating organ to me. Here's a picture of that. The mother's blood, the fetal blood, and how none of that is mixing, but we're getting those nutrients transported, and then those waste products pulled out. Page 274 has this picture here, and I recommend looking at that. The weight of the placenta at birth is about 1.5 pounds. So let's talk about the events of pregnancy. Um, Critical periods we'll see outlined on page 269 in your text. But we have the fertilized ovum, which is referred to as a zygote. And in the first week, smoking, drug abuse, malnutrition, that can lead to the implantation of that fertilized ovum into the uterus. Embryo, infant from 2 to 8 weeks post-conception would be the term that we're looking at. And then a fetus is the infant from 8 weeks until birth. A typical pregnancy lasts about 38 to 42 weeks, or 3 trimesters. Some things that are happening here during these very early times of pregnancy: we have hyperplasia, which is an increase in the formation of cells. We have hypertrophy, which is an increase in the size of cells. And babies may increase their cell size, but they can never make up for cells that were not developed. So this is why malnutrition and exposure to some of those factors like alcohol, drugs, environmental toxins during this time can cause problems for mom and baby. So we got some pictures here. And then, of course, there at the end, we get that newborn infant, just a cute little bug there. Average weight about 7.5 pounds and about 20 inches in weight, in length, excuse me. So the note about critical periods, again, these critical periods are periods of rapid cell division, and the effects of malnutrition during these critical periods are irreversible. Again, because babies can increase their cell size, but they can never make up for cells that were not developed. Let's look at figure 10.4 at nutrient needs. And this is really where a lot of people are surprised. In the first trimester, there is no extra energy needs. So when someone says they're eating for 2, yeah, you're eating for 2, but in that first trimester, those first, 13, 14 weeks, you don't need any extra calories than you needed prior to pregnancy. And then as we move through the different trimesters, at the second trimester, we're going to get an extra 340 calories, or mom's going to need an extra 340 calories. And the third trimester, an extra 450 calories. So I want you to consider what 340 calories looks like. It's not a ton of food. Let me just see if I'm close to